Physics, unit conversion and percent error. Well, let's say that I have a density of a substance that the accepted value is, I don't know, let's say 18 point, we'll make it real dense, 39 grams per centimeter cubed. But when I was measuring it, let's say, when I measured it, I got 18.7 grams per centimeter cubed. And I want to know what was my error, what was my percent error, and my absolute error. And so to find it, if you want to find your error, it's always what you observed or what you measured minus the accepted. So in this case, I measured or I observed 18.7. So 18.7 minus 18.39.31. So that would be my error. We'll just say ABC. Now notice how it's positive. So that means that my measurement was above what was accepted. If this was negative, that means what I measured would have been below. Like if I said 17.98, 16.52, which would be much lower, and I would be very far off. But so if it's negative, that means negative error means it's below the accepted. Positive error means it's above. Now for B, if you want an absolute error, you just take the absolute value of it. So still 31. And then last, to find the percent error, it's always observed minus accepted, which we've already found, 0.31, over the accepted, which is 18.39. So 0.31 divided by 18.39, 0.016856, blah, blah, blah. And to make it a percent, 2 places. So it's, we'll estimate and say about 1.7% error. So those are pretty nice. Just remember the formulas. Observed or measured minus accepted over accepted, as far as to go ahead and find a percent error. Error is just observed minus accepted. Absolute error is the absolute value of it. And then C, you actually plug in the whole formula and divide by what's accepted. My little abbreviation that I do is O minus A over A. But anyway, now conversion. Now metric to metric, we've got base, and we have deci, centi, milli, all these from Latin. Now we don't have a 10 and 100,000s, but we do have, or thousandths, but we do have a millionth, which is micro. And so since there's 2 gaps missing, you're always going to take 2 steps. Okay, then we have deca, which is either DK or DA. I've seen it both ways, your preference. Hecto, kilo for 1,000, and same thing. There's no 10,000s and 100,000s, so 2 steps again. Mega. And so if you want to convert and you're moving down, you're going to count and move the decimal to the right. If you're going up, you're going to move it to the left. So like if I said 100 129 millimeters to decameters. So I have 129, my decimals here. So milli, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to move my decimal 4 places to the left. Point 0.0129. Let's say I'm going to do something like 0.008 megagrams to decigrams. So start with my original. And so if I want to go all the way from mega to deci, remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to end up being 80,000 decigrams. So metric to metric, nice as far as I know my students generally say King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. It doesn't come with those two, million, mega, which is capital M, micro, which looks like a U with a tail on the left-hand side. It doesn't include those, but it is a cute little acronym if you like those. But now, let's do English to metric. There are 2 bridge units you need, 2.5 centimeters in an inch, or you could either say 1.609 kilometers in a mile, or you could say 1609 meters or in a mile, whichever one's convenient. So that's basically the same. So let's say I have, 83 inches, and I want to go to hectometers. Get my chart back because I'll need it here in a second. Well, what I personally would do is when you look to see which bridge you need, I would say this one. So remember, you always start with what's given, over and understood 1. You could do parentheses, or you could make it more of a bridge like our chemistry teacher, Miss Robertson, does it this way. I've always done parentheses, personal preference. Whatever's on top, to get it to cancel, it needs to do the opposite or be underneath. So 1 inch, 2.54 centimeters. Now you can continue on and you could say like 100 centimeters in a meter and then hectometers, but what personally I do is as soon as I get it to metric, then I'm going to go ahead and multiply. So 83 times 2.54 to 10.82 centimeters. But if I want to go centimeters to hectometers, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. So 0.021082 centimeters. And there you go. Let's do another one. What about if I had 5,600? Let's say we wanted to go meters to, let's go to yards just because we can. Well, what I would probably do, well, you have to start with what they give you, over and understood 1. And since you know 1609 meters are in a mile, meters down below, meters up top, and then miles up top, miles underneath, and 1 mile, there is 1760 yards. All I did there was, if you know, there are 5,280 feet. If you divide it by 3, 1760. So meters cancel, miles cancel, we're left with yards. So we're going to say 5,600 times 1760. And then we're going to divide by 1609. So we've got 6,125 we'll just say 54 yards. Now let's do one where we have to do both. Like, let's say 70 miles per hour to meters per second. Well, when you have 2 units, you just have to pick whichever one you want to go first. So we'll say miles over hour, because per just means over. And I want to go meters per second. Well, first thing I personally do is always do time, because time is the easiest, at least for me, to deal with. So there's an hour down below. So I want hour to be up top. And notice how I want to go to seconds. You could go to minutes and then minutes to seconds, or you could just jump. Since there's 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour, that means there's 3,600 seconds in an hour. So that's where I got it from. So now we're left with miles per second. And now to do meters. Same one we did a minute ago. 1609 meters. So 1609 times 70 divided by 3,600. 31.286 repeating meters per second. Now, one thing I wanted to refresh your memory on, and this will be it for this one, but if I had centimeters cubed and I wanted to go to inches cubed, remember the only difference is if I have centimeters cubed, centimeters on top, centimeters down below. So 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. But notice how this is cubed and this is just 1. So you were going to actually cube that. So it would be 108 divided by 2.54. And where's my power button? There we go. Cubed equals 6.59 inches cubed. So if it's cubed and this unit is not cubed, then you have to cube them both. If it's square, like for area, you would have to square it. Don't come across those that often in physics, but we do a smidgen like with density and things, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I hope you have a great day, and this was of help to you.